Community and campus partners each make unique contributions to a partnership. Every person brings useful knowledge to an issue, whether that's research expertise, knowledge of a neighborhood, or lived experience with an issue. But these contributions aren't always equally valued in a traditional research project. In contrast, community-based research tries to value multiple sources of knowledge. For example, community members might be good at recruiting the best people for interviews or focus groups, while students have the time and expertise to make good sense of the findings and write an easy-to-digest report. Not every student or community organization needs or should be part of a campus community research project. Before jumping into a community-based research project, community organizations should decide whether the project is a priority for them. Do they have the time and resources to devote to a project? Do they have the staff members or volunteers to offer expertise or other resources that they could contribute, such as mentoring a student? The same holds true for students. You should be aware that community-based research requires skills beyond what you need to be successful at school. These include practical research skills, knowledge of the community, intercultural awareness, and a sense of civic engagement. Interpersonal communication, time management, project planning, and professionalism are also central to community-based research. You will learn some of the skills during the project, but you also need to reflect on whether you're ready to be successful before you begin. Be ready to learn as much as you can about the community organization from their website, by asking questions or seeking other materials. The point here is that community organizations should be engaged on their terms, not those of the professors or students. And students should be ready to develop and expand their skills in order to undertake community-based research. Community-based research requires partners to negotiate how the project will be carried out, such as the choice of methods or who will collect the data. Roles and responsibilities are allocated depending upon resources, skills, time, and interests. In a partnership, roles and responsibilities should ideally be negotiated up front as much as possible, recognizing that these can change over the course of the project. Each partner should be able to choose their degree of involvement. Randy Stoker, a community-based researcher, notes that we shouldn't assume that maximum participation is always inherently empowering. Rather, the central question should be, at what level of participation can we best accomplish the specific objectives without overwhelming or sidetracking participants? In some community-based research projects, partners are involved at all phases of a project. In other cases, a student or professor will take a community's research question away and work on it for several months before coming back with some answers. Equity is a key principle that guides community-based research. Equitable research tries to overcome the power imbalances between academic institutions and community groups. Universities and colleges are large organizations who have a lot of resources that most community partners don't. There's the potential for them to dominate a project. Remembering that each partner brings resources to the project highlights how equity is not the same as being equal. For example, community partners can contribute to students' learning. Student leadership skills can move the project forward, and faculty members' funding sources can help. While each resource is not the same, each partner contributes the skills and resources they have available to them. A Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, is a partnership agreement that helps partners lay out their agreed-upon expectations. Within the MOU, rights, roles, and responsibilities of the partners are outlined. This might include where funding comes from, who owns the data and results, and how products developed from the project can be used, and by whom. It might also include steps to follow if there is a disagreement, and how the MOU can be updated and modified. Here's an example. Imagine a local environmental group partners with some computer science students and faculty to develop a new app for doing ecological field inventories. The project agreement might refer to the ownership of the project outcomes, saying that the app is owned by the developers and that the environmental group has the right to use it as they see fit. Or that the app is open source content and the environmental group can use and adapt the app in subsequent years as they see fit. Once statements like this in an MOU are negotiated by the project partners, all partners sign and date the document. In conclusion, it's important to value and be clear about the diverse resources and knowledge that partners bring to a project.